with that.
Thank you.
Motilal Oswal Financial Services' second quarter earnings fired on all fronts. Big gains in fund-based activities and nearly 100 crore dividend are the big icing on the cake. Ramdev Agarwal is chairman and co-founder at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. He's joining us right now. Ramdev, great to have you here. Thanks very much. You know, we'll get to the numbers which look very, very strong in just a bit, but you'd understand we want your thoughts on the market first with what's going on. Naturally. What?
100%.
Hi. What's your sense, Ramdev? We're down, what, 5.5% now from the highs. Your thoughts, here and now.
So, corrections are part of a classic bull market. And actually, this is a absolutely textbook bull market which we are in. Now, it is very difficult to predict every day, every week, every month. But the facts, I mean, the evidences are clearly, like a very, very super hot IPO market, super hot volumes in the marketplace. And I mean, even the broking result like ours is so much, superlative. So clearly, these are the signs of, kind of a heated thing. But the party can be very, very long and very, very large. I mean, you cannot put a finger there saying that okay, now IPO market is very hot. So of course, this calls for correction. Clearly, nothing can be done in one straight line in excessive fashion. But it calls for a good correction. If economy is on the opening mode, so there is a disconnect between what is the state of economy today and the stock market. Clearly, stock market is moving ahead of the economy, and economy is expected to kind of blossom post-COVID in next 12, 18 months or 2 years. So I think it is very difficult to correlate the economic development with what is happening in the stock market. And at times markets do excesses. So that's what is there right now. I think we need a healthy correction, which is on right now.
Ramdev, hi, good morning. Happy Diwali to you in advance, to you and your entire team actually at Motilal Oswal. It has been a very, very good year for everyone. But I wanted your thoughts on the big news of the day, which is IRCTC and, the larger message from what the government has done this time around. Would you be cautious on PSUs as a whole, or do you think that this is just a sort of a one stock issue?
No, we have been cautious right from beginning because of the thinking in bureaucracy is disconnected to the stock market. They're not running the companies or the departments to please the stock market, though they are listed in the stock market. So that's they have a kind of a very different incentive or agenda at times. So that makes it difficult many times, because ultimately what you're buying is the future of the company in a predictable fashion. And if you make the future unpredictable, then I don't know how to assess the value. Then it becomes like a cyclical or something, single-digit P multiple kind of thing. And that's what markets have done. So we have to make, if you're listed, to the extent it is possible in your own hands, you have to make the business look more predictable, more reliable. That's the whole game. And that's where I think if it is the ownership is disconnected with the incentive to see valuation to be reasonable, I think the problems come.
Ramdev, good morning. Season's greetings to you. Surabhi here. I'm going back to the first statement that you made, that this is a classic textbook style bull market. But I want to ask you this, that, like in the nature of a bull market, I guess the market's also ignored a lot of things. For instance, rising commodity costs. Even central bankers keep telling us it's transient. It's transient. Now we'll see how that plays out. But is that a risk that the market has ignored? Is it too simplistic to assume that this will be a repeat of 2003 to 2008, where interest rates went up, commodities went up, equities, everything went up? Is it going to be the same, or will that be too simplistic a view to take?
Yeah, markets will go up, that is for sure. But why it will go up, how it will go up, and what will be the pace? Like if you see, I have seen 4 bull markets. One, the mother of all the bull market was 1992 in Harsha Mehta time. So market went up by 7 times in 19 months. From 700 to 4200. That's why nobody wants to forget, because that cannot be repeated. That nothing can be said impossible, but it is almost impossible to repeat 6x markets in 2 years. So that's the kind of bull market we had. Then Y2K, it was a completely sectoral, tech-oriented kind of thing. Market ignored everything else. 2007 was GFC, credit expansion, global. So it was again a different one. I'm quite sure this current bull market has a very the epic center is and the story is going to be very different, that will come to know only after the bull market is over. But right now, liquidity and momentum and optimism and positive outlook, all sorts of positive outlook, the hordes of retail investors coming in, millions every month. I think those are the defining moments. And hence, since the structure of the bull run is very different, liquidity, cost of liquidity, collapse of fixed income, entry of large number of retail investors. So the character of the market will be very different.
Okay. You know, I think I'll remember this line for many, many years to come, that we'll only know the epicenter of the bull market long after it's over. And I think that's the wisdom that you always bring to us, Ramdev. I'm just trying to second guess things here. Is the epicenter of this bull market actually in these new age technology, you know, consumer tech sort of stocks? Could that be the epicenter at all? Because that's the hardest thing to evaluate and assess, because that's where traditional valuation tools are not working. Many of these companies are not even profit making.
Typically, I mean, that should be the one, because what you need is an imaginative valuation. You know, when you have the fact-based valuation, you can go only that far. I mean, you can give 20p, 30p, 40p. But if you don't have earnings only, then you can write any story. You know, hence any valuation can be justified if the valuation is not based on earnings. So that's what really happens, and that's why what happens is, if the story is not based on earnings, you see hundreds of new companies coming in. And now SEBI has also allowed the listing of the companies, those who are not making profit. That's a basic change. So you will see all kinds of exotic stories, and then people pile on to that.
Let's talk a little bit about the earnings now then. You know, this quarter, the company has been firing on almost all fronts. Big gains in your fund-based activities. There is a 100 crore dividend that you've seen as well. I wanted to understand, going forward in the second half of the fiscal, where do you see the big growth triggers for the company?
So one is that I think when I was sitting in the board meeting, what I saw was the operating earnings are very strong. And I don't see operating earnings breaking down, because ours is retail business. It is 80% retail business. So I am still seeing every month onboarding of 100,000 customers. And so I think the activity level is record high. Even the current month is larger than last month. So we are in the classic momentum phase in terms of investors' participation in the marketplace. So I think second half looks to be as promising, if not more, than the first half in terms of operating earnings. Mark to market, half in this business, in this current quarter, about 300 crores, 270, 265 crores is operating profit, and another 265, 70 crores is mark to market. So the first half, that 300 crores operating profit, I see that repeating per quarter in the maybe even larger in the second half. Mark to market is anybody's call. You know how the markets behave and what happens to a lot of exits in the private equity. So that nobody can predict.
Ramdev, apart from the broking business, which of course is firing on all cylinders, which other business are you most excited about? Which other line of business are you most excited about in terms of growth from here?
Yeah, so our iBanking, investment banking business is very, I would say, it was just about picking up in the first half. Second half, we expect major gains in the deal completions. So we will see quite a revenue coming out there. Then we are talking about wealth management business doing very well. The private equity is mobilizing a lot of money in this quarter. So we see the business activity picking up over there. And deal momentum is very high in private equity. So every business, apart from, broking, of course, is driving the commission revenues. So I don't see in any business kind of a slowdown right now. And that's the nature of the market. Everything is synchronized. So if broking is doing well, everything else is also doing well. But some of the businesses which are lagging, like iBanking and all, they will pick up in a meaningful way in the second half.
Ramdev, on broking itself, I mean, what's going to be the future of the business? Of course, it's done phenomenally well this quarter, no taking away from that. But in an era where, we've seen the rise of discount brokers and everything is platform, tech, app-based, investors are experimenting with a lot of new things like, small case and things like that. What's the future of broking, given the profile, age and nature of new traders / investors coming in?
So we first look at the what is the size of opportunity. Till now we have done business with only 50 million customers in India. I think if there are 800 million bank accounts, there is no reason why we should not have half a billion demat accounts. 500 million. Now it's not going to happen tomorrow, but for next 5-6 years, I see the number of participants going exponentially up. So then the market size just explodes because it is not if you have double the number of customers, the turnover doesn't double. It goes. It can go 5x, 10x. So it's a very exponential kind of situation. And so working opportunity is very large. Now within that, there is a what you said is right. There is a lot of value has migrated to the new age discount brokers and digital brokers, and they have done a very good job of reaching out to the customers and expanding the market. But ultimately, people come here to make money, and for making money, you can't just trade and make money. So then, handholding is very important, and we are saying that we will be slightly differentiated from rest of them, and we will invest in research and advisory, and will help people make. Our mission right from 1987 has been to help people make money in the stock market. So we will live by that particular notion, and even after 100 years also, people will need help in making money. Maybe I will not have the same market share of the larger pie, but I think there is a room for good research and good advice to the people at large.
Ramdev, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the home finance segment, because I remember us having this conversation about a year and a half ago where you were genuinely concerned about the problems within the home finance business, and you've really come a long way. I mean, disbursements have gone up almost 75% quarter on quarter this time around, and we are sitting at perhaps the cusp of a big upcycle in the real estate market as well. What kind of growth do you foresee here?
Yeah, so here we have started disbursing. Earlier our books were kind of unwinding. Our disbursal were 30 crores and our unwinding was 25 crores. Now we have been able to match up with and we are doing about 35-40 crores per month, which is a little larger than our unwinding. So we are now accruing to the book right now. But then that accretion is just about 5-7% of the book. We think in second half, there are two things which are going to happen. One, our sales force will be much bigger, and hence my disbursal will be very large. I think exit will be more like 80 crores, 100 crores or whatever in March or February, March. Second, I think the collections have become very good. This quarter, now I think exit month, at least the collection was about 100%, and that is picking up. So as the economy opens up, things stabilize. We think that our credit cycle, the bad credit cycle, bad debt cycle has kind of picked out. And we don't think that what we have provided in the first half, our second half provisioning will be much smaller. And hence, operating leverage will give me a good jump in the profits in the second half. In fact, one of the operating profit driver in the second half will be even the reversal of credit cost in the second half, or reduction in the credit cost in the second half.
Ramdev, on a lighter note, and with your permission, one low-cost way to enhance the profile of the business even more, which is doing so well, is to maybe add technologies at the end of the name. With all that is going in that space.
Shan, I think at the end of it is weighing machine. Markets are weighing machine. With the short run, it's a voting machine. That's
Absolutely.
what I have said, and we are right now living the best of the voting machine time.
Absolutely.
So, but finally, as an entrepreneur, we cannot be dependent on voting machine. We have to look at only the weighing machine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We are very clear at Motilal Oswal that finally it is the book which really matters, not the because your earnings can be very up and down.
Yeah.
But the growth in the book value of Motilal Oswal is the real one. And now we have crossed 5,200 crores in this quarter, and it is growing at about 23 to 25% compounded for last 5-7 years. That's what is the real important thing.
No, you guys have done a tremendous job building out all these different lines of businesses at Motilal. So absolutely. Just to come back to markets, Ramdev, away from the business itself, are you? Just want to ask you whether anything is now looking a little more attractive. Are you finding, can't call it bargains because we've not fallen that much, but what is looking the most exciting to you from a longer term perspective?
I mean, I can talk only about the themes.
Themes.
I think the biggest theme I think apart from the tech, which we talked earlier, I think the reversing the credit cycle, credit cost cycle, is going to be the big thing for not only private sector banks but also public sector banks. So I think, and if that doesn't happen, in that case, there is no story in Indian economy.
Okay. All right. Ramdev, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and happy Diwali once again. Hope we continue to meet and interact in the year to come as well. And what a terrific year it's been for investors, for your company. Hope you continue to do well in the future as well. Well, that's the word coming in from Motilal Oswal on their business, which has done exceptionally well, and on the markets. By the way, the selling pressure is now arrested for the time being.